This is your host of CivilNet, Hacopian, and we have the pleasure of being joined by the Deputy Foreign Minister of Karabakh, Armine Alexanyan. Ms. Alexanyan, thank you for taking the time to join us on this very difficult day.
Thank you for inviting.
My first question is, what is your assessment, or what is your government's assessment about today's Azeri aggression? What do you think led to it, and what can you tell us about the situation on the ground today, or right now?
Okay, as you know, this morning the Azerbaijani armed forces launched a large-scale attack, not only on the positions of the defense army of the entire line of contact, but also they have targeted the civilian population and civilian settlements, including capital Stepanakert, as a result of which, as you may know, we have casualties among the civilians as well. What brought to this, I think it was not a secret that Azerbaijan throughout these 27 years has been making no secret of the fact that it is building up its army, and it's obvious that if a country is buying so much arms, it is buying it with the intent of using them one day. It has tried it in April 2016. It has tried it recently on Tavush region. And I think this is a third attempt to test the ground to see how prepared or how ready we are to defend ourselves. Basically, in short, that's what I can say about current situation. And of course, because there has been never any sanctions or never any concrete condemnation was made to Azerbaijan, I think it feels that it has the green light to do whatever it wants to do.
To what extent do you and your leadership believe that today's actions, today's aggression, has more to do with the crisis of legitimacy of the Aliyev regime in Baku than with any specific things that have changed about Karabakh? Obviously, the situation is not that different from what it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or 20 years ago. To what extent is the civilian population of Karabakh paying the price for the legitimacy issues of the Aliyev regime in the eyes of his own people?
I mean, for those who know what sort of country Azerbaijan is and about the human records situation in that country, also about the Aliyev regime, and we also know that Karabakh issue has always been played as a card to manipulate the situation internally and externally. So, but I don't think that there's any particular reason to believe that it is about only the legitimacy, because as you have mentioned correctly, it has always been the case with Azerbaijan. Nothing drastic has happened ever since. And I think that Azerbaijan is just following its usual tactics and showing its aggressive stance that it has been showing all the years before.
One question, in the last couple of days, there's a lot of report about the Syrian jihadists, ISIS, Turkish-backed jihadists moving into Azerbaijan. And today, in fact, there was video confirmation of these jihadists being rushed to the front. What can you tell us about that, and has there been any confirmation of that during the battles of today? Have any of them engaged with these jihadi ISIS-type forces?
To be honest, to this moment, I don't have any information confirming this fact, but I have no reason to exclude it either, considering that in 2016, Azerbaijan has actually acted with the bodies in an ISIS manner in many ways, with the beheadings, etc. So, but to say that today I can confirm that there are jihadists fighting on the other side, we don't have any confirmation of this as yet.
Well, there's videos of it on the Armenian military portal of jihadists going to the front, but I understand your position if you have anything concrete on that. My last question has to do with, obviously this is an unfortunate repeat of what happened in 2016, except I think 2016 was much more of a surprise, but given the rhetoric that's been going on for the last couple of weeks, months and days, I'm sure today's actions, as distressing as they are, they should not have come as a surprise to you or your government. To what extent what is the difference between today and April of 2016, both in your response and your preparation? And what difference does it make knowing that you were already, I suspect you were pretty confident this was going to happen anyway?
You're quite right in saying that actually this time it did not came as a surprise, and I think the army was prepared and is prepared to rebuke any action coming from Azeri side. But as you have mentioned also, we know that the arms technologically are becoming more sophisticated. And if in the days before they could hit limited targets, unfortunately today the technology allows them to hit more targets in the rear, thus targeting the civilian population as well. So in a way, if this goes on, this will be catastrophic not only for Azerbaijan, Karabakh, and Armenia, not even only for the South Caucasus region, but it will be a catastrophe for the entire world. So I do think that it is international community's responsibility to try and take measures as soon as possible to curb Azerbaijan's action and to make sure that peace or stability is restored in the region.
Well, as a corollary to your last question, because you said something very interesting, have you seen any activity on behalf of those world powers today to bring this fighting to a halt or pressure the Azeri side to stop their aggression? Do you have any reports on that, or there's no such thing?
So far, we're only seeing statements made for both sides asking to halt the armistice. But I think in this case also it is important that, as we say, to name the cat a cat. It should not be just a call addressed to both sides equally, but actually they should note who has started the attack.
Yeah, well, I can see there's a moral equivalency that you see in a lot of the coverage, which is quite unfortunate. Ms. Alexanyan, I want to thank you for your time to joining us in this difficult day. We wish you the best, and please stay safe.